we're gonna chalk this up to the list of things I decide not to tell my husband tonight for various reasons. Hi guys, this is Connie. I had every intention of just doing a voiceover because why not? And if I really feel super productive, I'll end up doing like a split screen so you can see fast forwarded some of the stuff I recorded today. I actually got an opportunity to play games. And the more I'm thinking about this, the more I might end up using all the footage, just as a timer for what I want to explain. Because the last 2 days I felt like such a grumpy blueberry and so cranky and so out of character for myself that like even I have gotten tired of hearing myself complain. And that means I should probably shut up. But I digress. Like, I wanted to share my experience, particularly with family and friends that I knew are sympathetic, have a listening ear, and were just willing to listen. And my mom did a lot of that today, which I was very thankful for. And even when I hear myself, I'm just like it was a day, but it's not like the worst day. The last couple of days have definitely not been the worst couple of days I've ever experienced. Having lived 34 years of life, definitely have experienced a lot suckier days, but they were unpleasant. They weren't fun, that's for sure. And it's not like I got to do whatever I wanted to do, which is kind of par for the course in life. I digress. So I ended up having to have a discussion. It's fun that, it's funny, not really, that in certain situations of life, like when you're grouchy, you're just more susceptible to having arguments and disagreements with people that you love. And that's never fun, because if you don't, put your big boys and girls pants on and get over it and start actually talking it out so you can come to a resolution, you can let certain things fester into massive bitterness, and it'll just be bad. But let me give you a little bit more insight into... I'm getting updates now for certain Pokemon, because I would like to play the game and play the game well and have fun with it. And since I am part of a group that allows me certain access to like alerts and notifications, I'm going to take it for all that it's worth. And in doing so, got a notification for a Pokemon that I haven't actually been able to catch yet, because I start wondering, where do these silly things spawn? Is it just in exclusive local regions, or just in places that aren't my backyard that I'm usually Pokemon going? And I'm finding out very quickly that Manassas is a really big area, because this notification gives you places that are like, I would never drive through a handful of the neighborhoods that they've driven me into. Not because I just wouldn't go there, it's just because I don't have people that I've gone to be in those neighborhoods. It's not my usual roundabout way to get to like the grocery store, much less sitting in somebody's neighborhood collecting invisible monsters on my phone. So that's a thing. But that's stalling on the conversation. So Mustachio and I had a grown-up conversation about how we weren't seeing certain things the same way. Spoiler alert, everything turned out fine. It was a lot of me having to realize that I was taking it upon myself to... don't need that alert anymore either. I might just shut off these alerts. And now they're trying to give me Twitter updates. Shut up, phone. I'm done. As nice as that would be, I'm gonna have to start turning that off, because I'm not gonna check it right now. But at one point, I wanted to, in my head, in the name of being all-inclusive, I would play Ingress and I would play Pokemon Go, and once upon a time, my family members played this a lot more than I did. That is not the case anymore. I'm the only one who's actively playing. Now, to be fair, I have a goal in mind for when I play. And so I'm checking in every day. I'm actively playing, and if I have more time, I continue to play a little bit more. But there were some complications to my cell phone usage when it came to my data, and it went from when I tried to do all of these check-ins for all of these different accounts, at the shortest amount of time it would typically take me is 10 minutes, and because of certain delays on my phone, it then started to take almost a half an hour to 45 minutes to do it, which is not fun, which is very frustrating, and it shows me how impatient I am, which is really annoying because this doesn't seem like a correct statement, but I definitely could hear somebody saying this, like, I pride myself on being patient. That's a bad idea, because if you pride yourself on something, you're gonna probably fail and fall in it at least once or twice, because the whole point is to stay humble. And it made me extra grouchy on top of everything else that I was feeling in the last couple of days, and had to have Mustachio say, you don't have to do that. If it's not fun for you anymore, you don't have to do that. And what was once a fun thing to include people in became something that I took ownership of and said, I have to do this. It became an obsession. It became part of my regular routine, and it wasn't fun anymore. In fact, it was starting to cause me stress. And so today was the first day that I did not check in to any of those other accounts, that I only checked in to my accounts. Yes, with an S, because I have 2 emails. And eventually at some point I'm probably going to be okay with if that secondary account ends up becoming, I enjoy playing the game. I enjoy playing the game on both accounts. There's definitely one that I've invested more time into, but even the little investments that I've made in the secondary account have definitely shown dividends, which I think is just amazing. Hopefully future Connie is actually going to add the extra footage, because I wanted to show and share me playing, no, not Candy Crush Soda Stream, although I do have some footage for that, because that was pretty fun, because when I got caught on a roll, I was on fire and got a silver medal. But beyond that, watching this, whether I slow it down or not, it definitely glitched. I had several network errors in my playing of Pokemon Go, and some of that had to do with my service that was provided, and some of it just had to do with the network just kept kirking out on me. But good news is I got to play a raid today, and I got to catch the Rayquaza, and the Rayquaza is probably either my second or my best highest weather boosted Rayquaza that I've had since we've had the opportunity to get Rayquaza. So woohoo, super awesome. Actually, it's my second best IV Rayquaza, and it's my highest CP weather boosted Rayquaza, so that's awesome. And my heart hurts for Baby Bear, because she was in a funk, and I don't think it was because of me. I think a lot of it had to do with she's hardcore teething. We finally started to see, which one did we see? She's got this one coming through, more alerts. She's got this one coming through, and this one's starting to come in right behind it, and it hurts. And you can tell even in her naps, she has a hard time staying asleep. It does wake her up, and it doesn't wake her up so badly that we need to intervene, but it wakes her up enough that we wake up and know that she is struggling to put herself back to sleep. But she seems to be doing as well as you can for a tiny human with no words that has to grow bones out of her mouth. It's an incredible thing to me. I still don't feel like she's growing up super fast. It's very cliche and romantic to say something like that when you're in the moment trying to explain how awesome and awestruck you can be at watching life grow. And it's so cool. And if I had my way, I would already be pregnant. However, that's really not how that works. We trust God. And the last thing I remember hearing in my prayers from God is, what if I gave you exactly what you wanted? And I'm thinking to myself, I would be kind of scared, because if most of the life lessons I've learned and remember I believe typically God has better plans than mine usually. And I may have pretty decent ideas. Most of them are pretty selfish ideas, but God knows what he's doing, and God's ways are much better than my ways, and I'm never going to completely understand why things happen the way they do. I understand that bad things happen because we live in a fallen world. I'm not going to lose my faith in getting caught up in the fear and chaos that is this world, because bad stuff happens. It usually comes from 3 different sources: God, Satan, or myself, or human beings. And so it's about having the discernment. If there's one thing I could say this week, it's definitely I need discernment. I need that wisdom. I need to slow down and let myself process things a little bit more, because then I will gain the wisdom I want. But discernment and understanding and taking responsibility for what I can take responsibility for. And we can't always control the circumstances that we find ourselves in, but we can change how we look at those things. And the last few days, I've looked at things like and yeah, so at this point I don't think I have any more footage than that, and I shouldn't continue lagging on because I want to go in and see my husband. I think I mentioned at the beginning of this thing that there were things I was not going to tell my husband, and I was going to say that list is very, very short, but he has, the simple way to explain it is that he's given up some gaming for Lent, so he is not actively playing Pokemon Go right now, whereas I am, and I feel a lot more free knowing that I'm just playing the game for myself and I'm not playing everybody else's accounts, because I finally got wise to it last night after a conversation we had. And not only did I get the rare Pokemon that I went out to go get, they had an alert for an unknown, and I was able to get it without causing a traffic accident or stopping in the middle of some parking lot that didn't look too completely weird. I actually parked in a parking space. Life lessons. We live, we learn, we grow. Alright, be careful with that and enjoy, please and thank you, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Fortunately, I already have a chapter read, so I will upload that sometime tomorrow morning, as soon as I remember. Bye.